All right, that makes 3 people now that have said they're coming to get this Jaguar and then either didn't show or blocked me or ghosted me or whatever. So from now on, if anybody says they want a car, you're going to have to put a deposit down. I'm not wasting my time. It's just how it's going to be. So I was going to get this off when I moved that after the guy came and got it. So that kind of screwed that up. But anyways, I've had some other stuff to do today, so we haven't really had any time to work on the cars. But that was the one thing I was going to try to get done today, but it is what it is. And this is still on my trailer. I've had plenty of people offer money, but nobody actually showed up to take it. So I will probably start parting the thing out and maybe just start snatching parts off of it that are good and get rid of what's left. So I'm waiting until Thursday, and then we're probably going to start taking the doors and the front clip and everything else off and making it as liquid as possible. We've had plenty of offers on this thing as well. Obviously nobody's came and picked it up yet. That's how it goes. Well, as I said, it's a 78 by the VIN, but it's got some later model parts on it. This thing's probably just a put together child of somebody. But if you need parts, let me know. Front end spoken for, and I may have this door spoken for. A few other miscellaneous parts, but we're gonna start stripping it. Hood's off, the front piece is off over there. This fender, and then the door is next. And then the other fender is going to come off. Subframe is also, I think, spoken for. So if you need something, let me know, but it's stripped day. All right, we're probably an hour in or so, and everything's stripped. I got one bolt that's not wanting to come loose over there, and so a cutoff wheel is going to be necessary to cut that bolt off. Instead of running extension cords, I'm just going to pull my trailer over by the shop and finish taking apart this thing probably. And then unload what's left of the shell before I decide to scrap whatever's left. It's kind of weird just how quickly this thing came apart, but we got all the parts over here. It's wild the stuff you end up finding in the lower crevices and stuff. So we got some cutting dikes, random pair of pliers, wrenches, an extra door handle, and an empty medicine bottle with Klonopin in it. I'm not going to dox the dude or the doctor, but kind of wild what you find. You never know what you might find in some of these crevices that haven't been apart in years. So I'm going to continue on. It took me a little bit longer to get some of that other stuff off as the bolts were rotting up. I figured that was going to happen eventually. We're going to pull the front subframe. I'm going to pull over by the grass to get my tractor lifted up. Pull the subframe, and then we may pull the rear bumper if I can get to the bolts with it in the air. Doors are gone. I want to cut the quarters off this thing and save them for somebody, but I just don't have the time. Maybe delivering a car later, and I need my trailer back. This thing's held it hostage kind of long enough, so it's kind of a time for money thing. I am probably going to grab that B&M ratchet shifter as well. Other than that, most everything is out. We've got all these parts here and all these parts up here that came off the front clip. So good bit of stuff to sell. Guys coming to buy the door tomorrow. So at this point, I'm going to part it, move on. No sense in holding on to something. I hate scrapping good parts, but sometimes there's a time thing at hand as well. As you can see, I did not cut the quarters off. I just don't have it in me. I also don't have enough cutoff wheels to do that and try to fix some floors later on. So I'm going to pick and choose my battles, and that just ain't one today. That trim's boogered up. We're leaving that alone. The B&M is jacked up. It won't even go through the gears, so I'm just going to leave that in there. Pretty much everything off the firewall stripped except for the brake master cylinder. No point in that. They're pretty cheap. And then obviously the glaring thing, we have some scrap metal in a tub that I have that I'm ready to get out of here. So we added that to the trailer. So that is all we lack is take this thing to scrap. So hate doing it, but as far as I'm concerned, I got most of the usable parts off of it. I'm sure somebody will get mad about the quarters, but it is what it is. I don't have the time. So front subframe is pulled loose. Got a guy wanting it. Looks like it's all there except for the hubs and the outer tie rod in on this side. All right, off to be your next appliance or whatever, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Biggest reason I decided to scrap it is this is the VIN and that is the tag. As you can see, it's rusted through, so be hard to get a VIN. The door didn't have it either. I'm sure it's somewhere else, but meh.